Have you ever been in the middle of nowhere, miles away from any town or city? Have you ever been so hungry you feel like you could just eat a horse? And then on top of that, you're exhausted because you've been walking for days. What would you do? You might be tempted to panic, to feel sorry for yourself and to start complaining. But honestly, you'd probably do whatever it took to find food and rest because you know you can't go on much longer without them. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened to Jesus one day, except this time it was different because thousands of people showed up. Imagine being in the middle of nowhere with thousands of people, hungry, tired, and no food in sight. What would you do? Well, let me tell you a story that might just give you an idea. This is exactly what happened when Jesus found himself surrounded by a massive crowd of over 4,000 men, plus women and children. Now these folks weren't just there for fun. They had followed Jesus for 3 whole days, listening to his teaching, hungry for truth and hope. But now they were physically hungry too. Food was running out. Stomachs were empty. And they were far from any town. You can picture the scene, right? Thousands of people getting desperate, wondering where their next meal would come from. It must have been a difficult moment, a real test of faith for all of them. But how did Jesus handle it? Let's keep watching to find out. Jesus looked at the crowd with compassion. He knew they couldn't make the journey back home without food. They might collapse on the way. So he turned to his disciples, the people who were with him, and asked them, "Where can we get bread for these people to eat?" But his disciples were puzzled. They asked, "Where in this remote place can anyone get enough bread to feed them?" It seemed impossible. Thousands of people and barely any food on hand. There was simply no way they could get enough food here. But Jesus saw an opportunity to teach them a valuable lesson about faith. So he asked a simple question, "How many loaves do you have?" They checked and came back with the answer, 7 loaves of bread and a few small fish. It wasn't much, just enough to give everyone a tiny bite. But Jesus saw more than that. He took the bread, gave thanks to God, and broke it. Then he handed it to the disciples, telling them to give it to the people. Can you imagine the scene? People sitting on the ground, not knowing what was going to happen next, watching as Jesus performed a miracle right before their eyes. The disciples must have been nervous at first, handing out such a small amount of food to so many. But something miraculous happened. The bread and fish didn't run out. It just kept multiplying, piece after piece, until everyone had enough. And when I say enough, I don't mean a tiny snack. The Bible says everyone ate until they were satisfied. Imagine the look on their faces, families, children, elderly, all eating to their fill, realizing they had just witnessed a miracle. It must have been an overwhelming feeling, a mix of gratitude, amazement, and probably a bit of disbelief. When it was over, the disciples picked up the leftovers. Not scraps, not crumbs, but 7 full baskets of food remained. What started as not enough became more than enough. And that's not all. This story has a deeper meaning. It's not just about food. It's about faith and trusting in Jesus' ability to provide. No matter how impossible the situation may seem, with Jesus, nothing is impossible. He takes what little we have, blesses it, and multiplies it beyond anything we can imagine. So the next time you find yourself in a tough spot, remember the story of the feeding of the 4,000. Trust in Jesus, because he has a way of turning our not enough into more than enough. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on new videos. And remember, you are amazing. See you next time.